Okay guys, we're back. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to another day of Road to TCG Worlds 2018. Today we will be going through Gardevoir-GX with Sylveon. This is the exact same list that I used to win Vancouver Regionals, except that we have a 1-1 Zoroark-GX line over the 1-1 Octillery line. So there's a few pros and cons to running Zoroark. Of course, you get less cards off of the ability than you do with Octillery, so it's less reliable in the later stages of the game. But Zoroark does add a new layer of pressure you can apply to your opponent by dealing a lot of damage with Zoroark-GX early on. Arguably, you already have Sylveon to do that. Zoroark-GX's attack has a lower energy requirement, of course. It's only a TCE instead of a Fairy and a TCE. So there's pros and cons. Zoroark-GX's psychic resistance could come in handy also against Gardevoir. Dealing 120 versus 110 is actually a big difference, just because you can one-shot Gardevoirs with Zoroark and you can't with Sylveon unless they attach the Rainbow Energy, but I'm pretty sure most Gardevoir lists will now shy away from Rainbow Energy. So pros and cons, figured we might as well give it a try and see if it makes a difference, if it comes up, and if it doesn't, well, that's okay as well, right? So main attacker Gardevoir-GX, 230 HP, Secret Spring, you get to attach an extra Fairy Energy per turn from your hand, and Infinite Force deals 30 damage for every energy you have. Twilight-GX allows you to put back 10 cards from your discard pile to your deck. And then we have Gallade, which has Premonition and also Sensitive Blade, dealing 70 more damage if you've used a supporter during your turn. And another argument against Zoroark-GX is the fact that it's an easy target for Gallade to get knocked out and get 2 prizes, whereas Octillery is also a Gallade target, but it's a 1 prize. We have the Sylveon in order to use Magical Ribbon to set up, to use Fairy Wind to apply pressure, and to use Play-GX combined with Parallel City in order to demolish your opponent's setup. And finally we have 3 Tapu Lele for support. 3 Sycamore, 4 N, 3 Guzma, 2 Brigette, and 1 Acerola are the supporters of the deck. Then we have 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Rare Candy, 2 Field Blower, 2 Choice Band, 2 Float Stone, a single Parallel City, which is probably one of the most important cards in the deck, but it's very situational, that's why we don't have 2. And then a single Super Rod to recover Pokemon and energy. Then we have 4 double Colorless, 8 basic Fairy, and that rounds out the deck. So let's jump into the ladder and see if this deck is slightly better, slightly worse, or just as good as Gardevoir with Octillery. So Bradner, Blastoise, I hope I explained the pros and cons of having Zoroark. I personally think Octillery will still be better, but it's worth it exploring and seeing how the actual games play out, because it is a pretty good quick attacker you can have to close out games potentially. So I think it's an attractive option. Okay, so Zoroark and Night March, definitely we're going to be seeing that in San Jose, I would assume. Thank you for the congratulations on the Vancouver tournament. Pretty happy, of course, with that. And yeah, Mallow, I get the combo between Mallow and Zoroark. It's just Mallow seems so underwhelming in pretty much every other situation. And Mallow was already a good combo with Octillery, and it still didn't see play. So I don't think it's going to be played now that Zoroark is out, just because it wasn't being played even with Octillery out. So I'm definitely gonna Brigette here. Probably won't be attaching any energy. Let's check our prices really quickly. The Zoroark-GX line is there, so I guess we'll grab that, and we'll grab 2 Ralts. 1 Ralts is priced, 1 Kirlia is priced, and the Gallade. is priced. Then we have 1 Rare Candy priced, 1 Field Blower priced, and 1 Fairy Energy price. So those are our 6 prizes. Now, touching DC somewhere seems enticing. Maybe to the Zorua. Maybe to the Zorua. Definitely not to the Eevee. Potentially to Ralts, but I think to the Zorua seems better. And this is not me thinking like, oh, I'm adding Zoroark, I have to use it. It's just, it seems like if I somehow whiff on the fairy for Sylveon, at least I give myself the option to get a quick knockout with Zoroark-GX next turn, thanks to the Float Stone. So, N into 8 cards is better than Malo. Yeah, I think Zoroark will have its best moment in Expanded, not so much in Standard. I was very impressed by the Lycanroc Zoroark deck, honestly. I was very impressed. Just by those 2 games, I was very impressed by it. So I think it does have potential. And yeah, I think Zoroark is getting a lot of hype, so a lot of people want to play it. I'm not sure it's that hype will hold. It's essentially an N to 8, sure, but you're also sacrificing 1 card. And sometimes there are no cards you can afford to sacrifice. So you're already discarding a lot of resources with Ultra Ball and Sycamore. So, like, if you, in a late game scenario where you get end to 1 or 2, if you had Zoroark, maybe you can't afford to get to discard the Zoroark, to discard one of the cards because they're part of your outs to win the game. So I think it's mostly in the later stages of the game where Octillery outshines Zoroark, and then it's early on where Zoroark outshines Octillery. So there's pros and cons. Team M SPB, thank you for joining all the way from Russia. That's amazing. I basically took my list from Vancouver. I took out Octillery, the 1/1, and I put in 1/1 Zoroark. So it was pretty simple. Here, do I want to aggressively go after the Mew? No, I think, well, I can still do that and get the Sylveon out. So my opponent's deck is Venusaur, Lurantis, Genesect, Mew, interestingly enough. I'm going to end here. If I get the Zoroark, I will actually choose to take a knockout. I don't, but I get the Parallel City. Parallel City removes the Lele and probably removes 1 Full Mantis. So I guess I'm gonna wait to Parallel City until I have a better Guzma target or something. So I have Guzma and I have Parallel, so I can definitely go for the TCG. Next turn, if I want to do the Parallel play, and if I'm going to do that, I want to advance my setup for sure. So I'll grab a Kirlia and I'll grab Zoroark. Yeah, that seems good enough. So yeah, I showcased the list at the beginning of the before I started using the deck on the ladder, Team M SPB. So this video will go up on YouTube later on the weekend maybe, or next week, but I can showcase the list as well in the end. Or if you want, you can just go to my Facebook Tablemon page and check the image where I posted my winning deck, my regionals winning deck, and then just take out the Octillery and add in Zoroark. And I don't think I've said that today. Welcome to all the new followers, and once again, thank you so much to the new subscribers. You guys are really cool. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all of you who are here. I really appreciate it. And okay, so my opponent leads off with Lurantis. So definitely evolve here. Lurantis is kind of a big threat. Thank you for the congratulations. Okay, so are we committed to the Guzma parallel play? I think we are. So what do I parallel up? the Bulbasaur and the Lurantis? Or do I make my opponent fall more behind on energy drops? I think the Bulbasaur and the Lurantis is fine. Or actually, okay, well, it's gonna depend on what my opponent decides to discard off of the Parallel City, right? So let's play the Parallel, limit my opponent's bench, and therefore he'll probably discard the Fomantis and the Genesect or the Mew. The Mew. Okay, that works. So now we attach the TCG, and do we want to trade something? Maybe the N. I think we can afford to trade the N, just to have access to more resources later on in, or during our next turn. And those are pretty good draws. And then we are going to play, and we're going to return. I actually wouldn't mind returning the Genesect, just because it puts him even farther behind in energy drops. Definitely the Lurantis though, but what else? I mean, the chances of him having Rare Candy Venusaur in his hand are very low. So I think I get most of the time I get more mileage out of just completely removing energy from the field. And I also have the Guzma to just outright knock out that Bulbasaur if it doesn't evolve. So I think that was the right decision. Just because other than Lurantis, that deck doesn't have a way to accelerate energy. And then we could even go after the Fomantis this upcoming turn. So we're playing it super slow and steady. Slow and steady. We see a Guzma, that's fine. That Guzma actually encourages me to just knock out the Fomantis, or I could knock out the Genesect. See, the thing is, knocking out Genesect is so easy later on because it has so little HP. The Genesect is a bigger threat to my Sylveon, I guess. But the only way I knock out Genesect is through Gardevoir right now. I'm not dealing enough damage, so okay. So I'm gonna Secret Spring onto the Lele to retreat and have a knockout, probably with Zoroark. And then I can Ultra Ball away the Lele and the Field Blower for another Ralts, because there's no more Kirlia. And I think I'm okay using Sycamore here. I'm gonna be down to one Guzma only, but as long as I end up setting up my Gardevoirs, probably won't even need to bother knocking out the Venusaur, and I got the other Guzma anyway, so we are good here, guys. We are good, and I'm gonna take the knockout with Zoroark because it's less likely to get knocked out than Sylveon. I'm gonna trade away the Brigette. We remove that, and yeah, so pretty good deal, I would say. Pretty good deal. You're gonna place a bet that I'll play Gardevoir in London. Yeah, so Counter Catcher could be good in Greninja. If I had to choose a deck right now, of course I would go with Gardevoir again. But we'll see, There's a lot of time to go, and there are some interesting cards in Crimson Invasion. Nothing too game breaking, but so like things that could definitely threaten. And Boswell is one of the cards that I do really like here. Okay, so my opponent is being very passive here. We can just knock out the other Fomantis. We can also knock out the Ivysaur now, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to knock out the Ivysaur. I'm gonna Secret Spring onto the Gardevoir. Basically, we're just looking for a rare candy now. I'll trade the Ralts or an N. I'll trade an N. I'm definitely not going to fall behind in this game. And no rare candy. No rare candy. I don't think it matters too much, but do I attach? Yeah, I attach. And then we get another knockout. So yeah, now with no potential for Venusaur, that deck is just completely gone. Completely gone. Yeah, I think Buzzwole is good, actually. And hello, No Crown King. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I mean, against Metagross you can devolve, right? If you spread the damage properly, but yeah, you would have a really hard time against fire for sure. Okay, so powering up Genesect and Lurantis. This is now where we aggressively go with Gardevoir. I'm even tempted to just Sycamore here. So I'm gonna Ultra Ball away the Gallade and the Ralts. I probably won't even use Super Rod here. I'm just gonna grab the Sylveon. I mean, the only card I would maybe want to return would be the Energy. But I don't think it's worth it to play a Super Rod for that. I'll grab the Eevee. We have a very good amount of cards that we can draw to just get the knockout outright. We're missing just one energy. So I'll attach the choice band, the Float Stone here because it's just immediately useful, and I'll just Sycamore. And there we go. So we get another Rare Candy into Gardevoir. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need one Secret Spring on this Gardevoir to get the knockout. And that's probably more than enough in order to get more knockouts on the Genesects. So perhaps I should have saved the energy. I probably should have saved the energy in order to have a secure knockout on the Tapu Lele. However, we're out of ends, or we're out of Guzma, so we definitely have to go through both Genesects here. So we're good. Very good. There's a knockout, perfect numbers, perfect maths. We find another Rare Candy, so yeah, there's no way my opponent can deal with 3 Gardevoirs being 6 prizes still to go. Absolutely no way. So yeah. Wow, there's almost 100 of you. Thank you guys so much. This is really cool. Thank you guys so much for being here. Drawing the Acerola would just be salt on the wound, I guess. So we're gonna try to get that. Choice band will be relevant now, I think. And we don't find the Acerola, however we can build up another Gardevoir. And I'm gonna save the energy. I'm not going to attach any of them here, just in case I need them to retreat or whatnot. And I am dealing 180 damage, so that's more than enough for the knockout and Genesect. And yeah. Okay, so there's the Tapu Lele. So if we had spread the energy to the other Gardevoir, which I'm sure many people would have been inclined to do, we wouldn't have had enough energy for the knockout this turn. So many times it's really good to just conserve energy in your hand in order to do this. But yeah, we won the game since GX against him. And Zoroark was actually pretty good. Zoroark was very decent here. It got us extra cards, so Tilly would have been completely dead here. It got rid of excess cards such as the second Brigette and ends that we were not going to play. So Zoroark did well here. I don't think we played against a competitive deck, so I really can't say, but it seemed okay. Okay, so looking for another opponent. Looking. And do we get to go first? We do. Awesome, we get to go first. And we mulligan to start us off. Okay, so natural Brigette is amazing. It's one of the benefits of running 2 Brigette. It's just drawing naturally into it, which is really cool. Hello Felix, thank you for being here. And okay, so we're up against Volcanion, which should almost always be a good matchup, right? I like the Zorua here because we will be able to apply pressure. We're gonna be 10 short of knockouts on Baby Volcanion, so that's not ideal. Now the question is, do I expect this Ralts to go down? Probably. So I'm gonna go for double Ralts, not going for Sylveon just yet, but let's check our price card. So there's one Gardevoir-GX priced, and there's one N priced, and there's one DCE priced, one Fairy priced, and I'm actually not sure what else. What else is priced? Oh, both Sylveon are priced. Both Sylveon are priced, so we're definitely not going the the Sylveon route this game. Definitely not going that way. Both Sylveon are priced. Hello, YI89, thank you for the hello. I guess you're not watching, so I don't know why I'm speaking to you, but that's fine. Energy onto Volk, and N would be awesome here. And N would actually be awesome, but we see a turn 1 Lily for 3 extra cards. So this is most likely the list that got first place in Connecticut. Whiffs the Elixir and simply steams up and passes. And wow, what a top deck. When you're running hot, right guys? I am definitely running hot. Wow, this is just amazing. That was really lucky. That was really lucky. I will definitely premonition here. We're getting the Zoroark. We would have naturally drawn the Zoroark. That's just crazy. We're drawing crazy well here. Yeah, if my opponent is watching, I'm really sorry for that. My plan was just to end. My plan was just to end and then see what happened from there. But that top deck was just incredible. And yeah, I guess my luck is finally turning around. I've definitely been running hotter than usual, or hotter than average rather. Hotter than usual for sure, because my usual is really bad. And but I'm definitely running hotter than average for sure right now, which might as well write that, right? Because if you draw well and then you play the right cards, that's the game-winning formula, isn't it? If you can draw well and then you don't make any mistakes, you're good to go. You are good to go. Oh wow, who is he going to Kiawe onto? I would assume Volcanion. And yeah, I can definitely show the list. Trapeze, but this is my I'm just gonna Sycamore here. My opponent's hand is pretty bad. This is my Vancouver regionals list. I just took out Tillery and put in Zoroark. That's all I did. Yeah, so if you're getting lucky and then you're also drawing well and then you play well, that's all you need. That's all you need to succeed in Pokemon. Just draw well, guys. That's all you need. Okay, so I'm gonna trade one Lele here for 2 extra cards. To Guzma's apparently. The Fairy will go to the Ralts, and I don't need to Field Blower. I also don't need to Choice Band. I can, however, Premonition here. And the follow-up is not great. So if I had a Gardevoir here and Ultra Ball, that would be really good with Zoroark, but I think I'll just put the N on the top so that I don't have to Lele for it, and then the rest of the cards literally don't matter because I'm not drawing any price cards, so there's no chance of me getting the Gardevoir from the price card. So yeah, we'll just Sensitive Blade here. Step 1 win, step 2 don't lose. Yep. Yeah, so I mean, I know people who get very lucky, but then if they make mistakes, then there's no point to that. But yeah, I mean, I think I play well and I don't make too many mistakes. I do make mistakes, trust me. I made some potentially championship losing mistakes in Vancouver, just because it got to a point where I was very tired from so many games of Pokemon. But yeah, so I do make mistakes. It's just I hope I make less mistakes than the average Pokemon player. Okay, so my opponent choosing to attach energy before steam up, so he might actually even whiff the knockout on Gallade here if he doesn't draw fire energy, which seems like a silly risk to take, because if you want to have a chance in this game, you definitely have to knock out the Gallade. If Gallade knocks out the Volcanion, it's just over. It's over for him. It is literally over for him. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so he did find the energy to steam up. Now we don't have a Gardevoir follow-up, but we can just take the knockout with Zoroark, provided we fill up our bench. We have the choice band, never mind. We can just take a knockout here, never mind. This is where Zoroark is better than Octillery. No complaints here, guys, no complaints. Okay, let's do this the right way. We'll attach a choice band. We will trade the fairy. We will trade the fairy, and then we will trade the other fairy and the Lele for a Gardevoir. So yeah, that was another great top deck. Another really great top deck for us. And then yeah, so we get to attack with Zoroark. Our Gardevoir stays intact, so there's no threat of a follow-up attack on the Lele for my Gardevoir, to allow my opponent to just 2-hit KO us, right? We found enough Pokemon to not need the choice band. I could Field Blower to remove the potential of him finding any more Volcanion EXs, so I think that's good. And good evening, Electech, thank you for being here, and we will just Radius Splitting for the knockout. So things are looking really good for us. Things are looking really, really good for us. Promotes Staryu. Plays Ultra Ball. I don't see how my opponent ever comes back from this, especially if we're able to deny an attack with the Acerola on the Zoroark. And right now my opponent's only threat is Tapu Lele, which is very, very easily knocked out by our own Gardevoir. We see an N, that's fine. This is where we have less reliability with Zoroark. The previous turn could have been a knockout with Lele instead of Zoroark, so trying to be objective here. Zoroark in this particular game would be worse than Octillery after this N. So there's that, yeah, to consider. We get the Acerola back, and looks like my opponent will go for the Nitro Tank GX play. So we were able to find an Ultra Ball. We have no more Tapu Leles left though, so I can't Ultra Ball into Guzma, into Lele into Guzma, to get a knockout on a Volcanion with my Gardevoir. So I think we're still fine. Like, I really think we're still going to be fine. My opponent didn't attach any energy to Turtonator, so I guess he's expecting a knockout. However, yeah, this is where Octillery is a lot better than Zoroark. Like, if we had Octillery would be on the bench and we would have an active, an active Tapu Lele attacking. So Zoroark right now it's strictly worse than Octillery so far. Strictly worse. We would have dealt 90 instead of 130 with the Lele. Lele is easier to get a knockout, but I don't think my opponent can deal with 2 Gardevoirs, especially because he can't get a one-hit KO with Gardevoir. I mean with Volcanion if he doesn't have a 3rd Volcanion EX on the bench. So yeah. And guys, that call you heard, that means this is the last game of the stream and game of the video, of course. If you're watching this on YouTube. There we see a Guzma onto the Gardevoir. This is fine because I kept the Acerola in my hand, kind of considering this possible situation, but also expecting my opponent to attack into the Zoroark. I will first trade the Eevee. And wow, I even get a Parallel City, which I don't think I want to play, just because he would definitely remove the Turtonator, the damaged Turtonator, and that might end up being my win condition. So I'm considering just getting rid of my Lele, which I think is also fine. Like, I really don't need to play the Parallel City at all. I'll go ahead and play it, just to reduce the damage he can potentially deal. Get rid of the Lele, and Infinite Force. And Electek, my channel is not specialized on low budget decks, so today or tomorrow you will see a Raichu Hitmore deck that doesn't use any Lele, so that could be an okay option. Greninja is a low budget standard deck as well, so that's another option. And yeah, we have the game here. We have the game, we have the knockout, we have the TCE to compensate for the Fighting Fury belt. My opponent just attached, and worst case scenario, we were down to a Guzma to win the match. So yeah, I mean, Electek, if you want to check out a low budget deck, definitely check out Greninja, because people are playing it with Espeon and Tapu Fini and Tapu Lele, but you can forego those options and still have a very good potential, a good deck with a lot of potential. And okay, so yeah, let's not waste any more time. So there we go, Infinite Force for the knockout. Zoroark Break, I have a few videos already on my channel with Zoroark Break. Definitely haven't updated Zoroark in a while, but just because Gallade and Gardevoir is a deck, I don't think Zoroark has a chance in the metagame. Regular Zoroark decks, Zoroark-GX could maybe do something, we'll have to see. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for liking the videos if you guys like them, I really appreciate it. This will be all from me today, guys. Welcome to the new followers, hope you enjoyed your stay. Welcome to the new subscribers, I really appreciate your support, every little bit helps. And I will see you guys tomorrow in Spanish, alright? Thank you guys so much, and bye-bye.